I believe Ulcerated Tree Spirits are not literally baby Elden Beasts, but they may have been malformed reflections of the same divine force that created the Elden Beast itself. The evidence points towards something deeper than simple tree monsters. Their autonomy, their golden fire, their connection to Erdtree roots, and their bizarre mixture of flesh and divinity all suggests they originate from the same primordial source of life that eventually produced the Erdtree and the Elden Beast. In my view, Ulcerated Tree Spirits are what happens when that sacred power becomes corrupted, trapped, or malformed inside the roots of the world. That idea explains far more than any single theory involving the Scarlet Rot, Death Root, or random mutation. But to understand why, we first need to look at a strange question that has bothered me since I started paying attention to these creatures. Ulcerated Tree Spirits are twisted masses of roots, flesh, teeth, and violent movement. They appear in strange places beneath the world, they explode from the ground with almost no warning, and they look far more like nightmares than guardians. But we all know that most major enemies in Elden Ring reflect the same aspect of the world's history, religion, or cosmology. And the Ulcerated Tree Spirit is no exception. The complication is that these creatures do not fit neatly into any established category. They are not dragons, not beasts, not avatars. And despite their name, they do not even look particularly tree-like. So what are they actually supposed to be? And the answer I keep returning to is that they are malformed manifestations of the same divine life force that gave rise to the Elden Beast. Not identical, not equal, but related. The thing that caught my attention was their use of the golden fire. Golden fire is surprisingly rare in Elden Ring. Many creatures breathe fire, many creatures use holy attacks, very few combine the two. Yet Ulcerated Tree Spirits unleash streams of golden flame that immediately reminded me of the Elden Beast. That similarity becomes difficult to ignore once you notice it. The visual language is nearly identical. The attack carries the same sacred feeling, the color palette is similar. And the most important, both entities seem connected to the Erdtree at a fundamental level. If Ulcerated Tree Spirits were merely diseased root, I would expect them to use poison, rot, or physical attacks. Instead, they wield a form of power associated with divine authority. That makes me think they are not simply parasites feeding on the Erdtree. They are manifestations of the same power source, perhaps damaged and incomplete, but still born from the same sacred origin. In other words, I don't see them as enemies invading the tree. I see them as products of the tree itself. The strongest evidence comes from their appearance. They look like the roots wrapped around flesh. But what if the flesh comes first? What if the roots are simply trying to contain it? The creatures are packed with red organic material beneath their bark-like exterior. Even versions without Scarlet Rot possesses the same disturbing red autonomy. It suggests the flesh is not corruption, it is a part of their original design. This immediately reminded me of the ancient descriptions surrounding the Crucible. Again and again, Elden Ring associates primordial life with a mixture of gold-red colors and chaotic biological growth. The Crucible represents life before it became ordered, life before it was refined, life before it was separated into clean categories. Ulcerated Tree Spirits feel exactly like that. They do not resemble an organized divine creation. They resemble raw life itself, unstable, violent, almost embryonic. That is why I struggle to see them as simple tree guardians. They look more like something ancient trying to become a divine being and failing. And if the Elden Beast represents perfect divine order, then the Ulcerated Tree Spirit may represent the opposite, a failed expression of the same underlying power. There is another detail keeps pulling me back toward this theory. Most Ulcerated Tree Spirits are discovered near roots, burial sites, underground chambers, or places associated with death and rebirth. That placement feels deliberate. The Erdtree is not just a tree, it is a system. For centuries, bodies were returned to its roots. Souls circulated through it. The roots were effectively the hidden machinery of existence. And what happens when that system breaks? The shattering disrupted the natural order. Death became distorted. Rebirth became uncertain. The entire process governing life appears damaged. If divine energy was once moving smoothly through the roots, perhaps Ulcerated Tree Spirits are what happens when the energy becomes trapped in Lands Between the universe. Instead of producing healthy renewal, the roots begin generating malformed spiritual growth. This explanation also clarifies why these creatures appear in places connected to death, corruption, and damaged Erdtree systems. They are symptoms of something going wrong beneath the surface. Not invaders, but consequences. The Elden Beast itself represents divine order successfully embodied. It is elegant, cosmic, purposeful. Its form appears complete. Ulcerated Tree Spirits feel like the opposite outcome. The same divine ingredients appear present: sacred fire, connection to roots, primordial life, organic growth, but everything has gone wrong. The result is unstable. That is why I think calling them baby Elden Beasts oversimplifies the idea. What fascinates me is that they may represent a failed attempt to create something like the Elden Beast, a divine process interrupted before completion, a sacred force trapped in the roots instead of ascending into its intended form. In that sense, they are not descendants of the Elden Beast, but more like the distorted cousins. Both emerged from the same source. One became the embodiment of the Order, the other became the mess of roots and flesh hidden beneath the world. Because of the Elden Beast shows us what perfect divine life looks like, the Ulcerated Tree Spirit shows us what happens when that same divine life is broken. Thanks for watching, hit that like button and subscribe for more Elden Ring and other Souls-like games lore and guide videos, and stay sharp out there, Tarnished.